Good morning, Taiwan, and thank you for sharing your Friday with us. I am Louisa here to keep you informed and entertained. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新奇、最有趣的新闻。First news in South Africa. Sadly to say, the rhinos are under threat. The number of rhinos poached in South Africa has risen to an alarming rate of 159 this year, and they are mostly slaughtered for their horns, which are believed to be able to cure all kinds of ailments, from headaches to cancer. 南非最近公布，去年被盗猎死亡的犀牛高达448只，而最近10年来的盗猎让南非的犀牛数量大量减少，让政府相当头痛。
A decade ago, the Kruger National Park in South Africa lost about 15 rhinos a year to poachers. Last year, 448 were killed across the country as a whole. So far, this year alone, 159 have been slaughtered nationwide. The government says the park has suffered the biggest losses.
The Kruger National Park continues to bear the brunt of these losses, with the rhino poached in the park having reached the staggering figure of 95. As we compare this figure with last year's figure, it has actually increased, and we are very, very concerned.
The spread of wealth in nations like Vietnam and Thailand is being blamed for the rise in poaching. More people can afford to buy powdered rhino horn, a prized ingredient in traditional medicine despite the absence of any proven benefits. And with the value of rhino horn now at $65,000 a kilo, there's every incentive for the poachers. But investigators say patrolling the Kruger National Park, an area the size of Israel, is no easy task.
Where we are today is the crime scene team have arrived, and they have basically carried out an investigation at the crime scene, trying to collect as much evidence as they possibly can in an attempt for us to eventually locate this particular group that has been involved in this incident, as well as many of the others in this particular area.
South Africa is home to both species of African rhino. It has all but a tenth of the continent's 20,000 plus white rhino and almost half the smaller 4,800 black rhino population.
To the world of music, it was definitely what her Uber fans wanted, an intimate moment with the star. After 25 years being in the showbiz, pop singer Kylie Minogue treated her diehard admirers to some low-key, stripped-down performances. That's part of her K25 mini tour. 澳洲歌手 Kylie Minogue 这个星期在伦敦推出她的25年纪念演唱会，吸引了超多的歌迷捧场。而且 Minogue 这次还选了许多非主打歌或是另外收录的特别歌。
Kylie Minogue wowed fans in London earlier this week with another intimate anti-tour gig. Following 2 successful nights in Manchester, she went on to her 3rd and final show of her K25-minute tour, celebrating her 25th year in the music industry. Sold out in 10 minutes, lucky fans who got the tickets could not wait for the show to start, with some of them even indicating that they grew up with her music.
Well, how old were we when? We must have been like 5, 6 when we were listening to her first, so yeah, we've grown up with her.
She's a really positive role model, I think, so she is though, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than singing her chart toppers, Kylie performed several B-sides and rare album tracks. The excited crowd cheered as Kylie took to the stage, dressed in a pair of denim hot pants. Backed by a small troupe of backing singers, she kicked off the evening with a performance of Magnetic Electric, a bonus track on her 10th studio album X, which was released in 2007. Addressing the crowd just in case anyone was unsure, Kylie explained what the evening was all about.
It's so nice to see you all. So you know what tonight's about, yeah? You're probably not going to hear, I don't know, la la la, or I'm spinning around, or out of visa, or love if I, or any of those guys. I know a lot of you wrote your own lists of what you would like in the anti-tour. I too had my list, many versions of that list, and this song was constantly in it.
question was Cherry Bomb, B-side to In My Arms Wow, also from her album X. The anti-tour marks the star's 25-year career making music, and further celebrations are to take place throughout 2012.
To movie news, we have introduced a few new films yesterday, and now let's reveal the rest, which includes some romantic flicks by young, hot Hollywood stars. 今天要上映的电影还包括 Justin Timberlake 的《开往新方向》、Josh Duhamel 的爱情片《浪漫爱昏头》、金球奖影帝 Colin Farrell 的《情陷美人鱼》，以及有2个影后 Carey Mulligan 和 Suzanne Sarandon 主演的《爱运转》。虽然都不是大片，但是故事都非常的精彩动人。
Have to operate.
What are you talking about?
She wants to see you before she goes into the operating room.
And Justin Timberlake as Carlton, a minor league hopeful, is going the extra mile for his mother, who wants Carlton to bring his errant father, a former major league superstar, to her bedside. And we can't leave out his beloved ex, Lucy, who tags along for what looks like a reconciliation.
You know, when I was a kid, what we called a Hummer was something entirely different. Well, how come you stopped calling?
You disconnected your phone, Dad.
What's on you?
That was my dorm phone. I graduated.
Tomorrow is going to be fantastic. That is, if they even make it to the altar. Cheers to that, huh?
A raucous night before a wedding turns out to be a test of friendship and love. Can Anna Paquin, as Leela, the bride-to-be, lock Tom down? Or will he back out at the last second with Laura in the picture?
Nobody knows that I'm out here.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody knows that you're out here.
What's your point?
I don't, maybe we can just hang out for a minute. What's wrong?
It's going to rain.
It's me.
What are you doing here?
We need to talk.
Wedding day jitters is a universal affliction. I spent the night before my wedding in a closet.
Once upon a time.
Does it always have to be once upon a time?
I was a fisherman. He was pulling in his nets.
Is she a mermaid?
No.
Is she a selkie then?
What's a selkie?
She comes out of the sea, lives on land.
His life is far from perfect. Colin Farrell plays a local fisherman with a grudge-holding, heavy-drinking ex-wife and a spirited daughter who needs his constant care. However, that's all about to change when he finds a mysterious woman in his net.
What's it mean?
She came from the water. I'm examining it for webs. Selkie women. She stays 7 years on land, unless the Selkie husband claims her back.
What kind of stories are you spinning?
You're a secret. I think.
I know.
You don't like the dress?
It's just tied around the edges.
You have edges?
Someone was looking for her.
Who?
A man.
I knew this boy. We would pass each other every day after school in the exact same spot. And sometimes it would be so intense that we would start looking at each other from the very beginning of the steps. And on the last day of school, he talked to me.
Hey!
And everything was happening exactly the way it was supposed to.
A story about grief and healing. The greatest centers on the death of a teenage boy who left his pregnant girlfriend behind and his family completely devastated.
That this amazing young man who was so well loved was surrounded by everything that was beautiful to him.
Come on in.
I'm 3 months pregnant. I just can't believe she has nowhere else to go.
Do you want to feel?
No.
He always kicks when he hears your voice.
I'm fine, thanks.
Please.
It's strong.
I barely knew him. I think he was the love of my life.
What would you say if someone asked you about this night?
I would say that this was the greatest.
So those are your choices in cinemas today. And that's it for this Friday edition. I am Louisa Lee, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Now, don't go anywhere. We have the latest weather update coming up, along with more top stories.